Okay, so Professor Yunus, it is an absolute honor to welcome you today. I'm going to just jump right into it because your time is very, very precious. I'm going to start with a question from about May 2009. That's the time when you met Nelson Mandela, or Madiba as he was affectionately known, in Johannesburg on his 91st birthday. What can our young generation learn from his life and strive to create a better, equal, and more just world?
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I was absolutely delighted. It was a dream come true to meet him and be invited to speak at his 91st birthday. This is something people can only dream about. It doesn't happen right away, but it happened, and I was all excited about it. So I came. My friends came with me, and we got to talk to him. And he was a very simple person, and we are trying to talk to him about the things that he has done. But at that time, he was not physically completely fit yet. So we had to be very careful to talk to him and so on. But when the actual ceremony took place, it was a grand ceremony. And I was absolutely out of my imagination, that standing next to him, speaking on his birthday and his accomplishments and so on. And this was nationally televised. So I'm just standing there. What I can say about the young people, to see the heroes for them, like Madiba was my hero. I sort of worshipped him the way he stopped started the campaign for against the apartheid, and the way he suffered for that. And I was in the United States at that time as a student when all these things happening in South Africa. So I was participating in the apartheid, anti-apartheid demonstrations and so on, knowing people who are leading those movements within the USA, and knowing what is happening in South Africa. It's not much on the news in general, in the global news, but the US covered news someplace, not all over the United States. But I was part of that. So now seeing that all these things happening in real terms and coming to South Africa, meeting Madiba, talking to him, is a great, great experience for me. So I would say to the young people that you need to find somebody that you admire and see. It doesn't mean that you have to take everything that the person does, but at the same time, you see what are the things made that person that made you admire him or admire her.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
sorry.
No, I said this is one thing, and then you see how he or she grew up along the way, and how your path kind of coincides with the path of the person that you admire, and what would you like to do? What are the things that he or she did in a lifetime, in his lifetime, and what are the struggle that he has to go through?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so I want to ask you about your own journey. I mean, you're such an inspiring person in the sense that I believe like you could have stopped so long ago, right? I mean, so like you invented microcredit, social business, all these things, and you're still going, right? And 50 companies that you founded in Bangladesh, and the impact that you've made globally. What keeps you going, and where did you start from? Like, what is it about your background that keeps you striving, even at 82?
Yeah. It goes on. It's a journey that you never stop. You continue to do whatever you're doing. It all started a very unusual way. It's not something that you plan to do things. Everything happened in the beginning is absolutely out of anybody's planning. It's a kind of, you are pushed in a situation that you have to now find a way to get the things done the way you would like it to get done, and so on. I was a teacher, and I was enjoying my teaching, and I was doing in the United States. I came back to Bangladesh in 1972 after the liberation war. I was actively campaigning for the liberation of Bangladesh and soliciting support from different countries to support us to gain the independence from Pakistan. So when it happened in the end of 1971, I immediately resigned from my job where I was teaching and wanted to come back. So I came back. And with all excitement that now we have a country with independence, we can do the things that we want, we'll build the things that whatever we had in our dreams. But the reality turned out to be very different. All the dreams started turning into nightmares. Things that you thought will happen, didn't happen. Things you did never happen has started happening. The country was faced with a famine. People are dying. Already Bangladesh was a very poor country, one of the poorest countries in the world at that time. Now, on top of it, the big famine hit the country. So you wonder what good is your economics to help people get out of the situation that they're facing. And I saw there is nothing that I learned in economics textbooks in my classrooms equip me deal with the situation that I have faced with. So I got very frustrated with the knowledge that I have and the time that I spent in learning things. And I thought these are useless things I learned, which has no meaning to the life of the people who are struggling for survival. So I thought I wasted so much time doing that. And what do I do now? Where do I start now? That was my first question, because I have nothing to offer. I have not learned anything to be useful. So the question is how to make myself useful to people, and what is it that I must do? So one thought came that why don't I go to the village next door to the university campus and see if I can be useful to at least one person. I knew that I cannot be useful to many, so I thought I can be useful to still at least one person. So I was looking for a way how to make myself useful to one person, even for a day. I may not be useful for a whole life for the person, but for a day it may be done. So I do a little bit for this person one day, this person another day. I thought that way I see that I have some usefulness left in me. So I would like to say, this is my job. This is what I started doing. Every afternoon, I would visit the village and spend the rest of the day in the village, talking to people, seeing what can be done. And I learned a lot in the process. And that led me to wanting to do to other things and so on. And one thing which led me to do more things is loan sharking in the village. And I was trying to protect the people who were in the loan shark, victims of the loan shark.
Yeah.
So I thought, how to protect the people from loan shark? One idea came that why don't I lend myself? If I give the money to the person, he or she doesn't have to go to the loan shark. So the person is protected. So I started doing that. That's taking money from my pocket. I said, if you need money, here's the money. You can come and take money, no problem. Take it easy. You can return the money whenever you are capable of doing that. So people saw that this is very easy with me, unlike the loan shark who take away everything they got, and became very popular. Then I got into battle with the banking system. I said, banking system is designed wrong way. You don't give the money to the poor people and so on. In the process, I created a bank to show that it can be done. And that we called it Grameen Bank, or a village bank for one village that I was working. And then it started spilling over the village and other villages and became a nationwide later on.
And then global.
Then global, yes, of course, then global.
Right. What I think is really wonderful about what you just said is that, you listened, right? And you wanted to make a difference. You listened to the people who you wanted to work with, and then just found a way to solve a simple problem for them, which then grew into this global sort of phenomenon. And I think what's really important in for young people to understand, and even just for the sector to understand, is that you have to listen to the people that you want to serve. You have to understand what their needs are. You need to understand what the challenges are, I think, before you can even start proposing what it is that solution is. And I think that we usually do it the other way.
I'm glad you raised that issue. I was not only listening, I was learning.
Right.
And gradually over several months, I said, my God, this village is my university.
Right.
I have learned so much from this university. These people in the village are my professors.
Right.
I never learned all this thing from my professors in the school, and I felt myself such a useless person coming out of those colleges. Now I see this is a plenty of things that every day I'm learning from them and see what the real life is. And I started describing in my description to the people what I do. I said, look, I went to the school and the universities around the world, and I thought I learned a lot. What I got from their teaching, that I got the bird's eye view. I fly high and see a lot underneath. And I thought I saw everything. I said, I fooled myself. I didn't see anything. I
Yeah.
just kind of made it up in my
Right.
mind. It must
Sure.
be able, because I was so far away from the real life, so too far away. So I said, what I have done in the village, I got instead of bird's eye view, I got the worm's eye view.
Yeah.
I'm,
I love that.
I see everything very clearly.
Yeah.
And since I see clearly, I know what the obstacle is. If I see an obstacle, I go around it. I don't
Right.
battle with the obstacle.
Right.
I always find a way to speak through some direction so that I get to my destination. I said, this is my worm's eye view. So I came back to the reality, getting away from the make-believe story of the bird's eye view and so on. So that gave me a great foundation. Whatever I was doing is real, and whatever I was talking, people that I'm talking to are real people,
Yeah.
and everyday real problem. And whether it works or not, I see it right away. It's not a conjecture. It's not an imagination. I made it up theoretically. I said this can be done. It's a real thing, whether it is get done or it doesn't get done. So
Right.
everything I did, test it out right away.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's wonderful. Worm's eye view. We should all strive to get a worm's eye view of the issues that we want to tackle. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that perspective with us. You know, again, you are such an inspiration to so many young people, to people all over the world, and we know that whenever there's an economic or social problem that you want to solve along your journey, you inspire young people to take action to solve it. And so we want to understand what were some of the biggest obstacles that you faced when you were starting Grameen Bank, Grameen Shakti, Grameen Kalyan, Grameen Danone, and so on and so forth. What were some of those challenges you had to face? Because I think that when you're really trying to upend a system, right? I mean, I'm sure the loan sharks were not happy about you. You know, I think it's important people understand that when they have a vision for something, or they're trying to make a change, they're going to come across a lot of obstacles. And so I'd love to know like some of the challenges you may have faced and how you overcame them.
I guess first thing I should say, all my life, starting from the small beginning, and even when I grow bigger, the biggest problem I face is the mindset of people.
Yeah.
People very set mind. They grew up and they have been trained, they have been taught, and they made up their mind in a certain way. And their eyes now see the things which their mind is telling them to see. They cannot see the things which their mind are not telling them to see. So we see with the made up stories behind our back. So I cannot see the reality. Even if I keep my eyes very open, still I cannot see it because it's controlled by the thoughts, the ideas that put behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And that mindset has created a lot of problems at every step. Even when I was doing it in the first place in the village in Bangladesh, while I'm still teaching in the school, in the university, my colleagues in the same department, they were very unhappy that I was doing things very challenging the thing that teaching and saying this is wrong. They taught us the wrong way and so on. They feel going to the village and spending time with the villagers and the poor people, the poor women, wasters of my time. This is not an academic work. So
Right.
they want to have the prestige of the academic person. Here I am in the beautiful university campus. I go out in the traditional 1,000-year-old village, very kind of a devastated village with the people, devastated life of the people and so on. So that's the kind of thing that I've started battling with. And you said the loan sharks were very happy, or were not very happy with me. It's not the loan sharks which opposed me. It's my own colleagues who opposed me. It's the people in general who opposed me. Loan sharks saw that, yes, there is another guy who's making the same business. He will not last very long because this is a temporary phenomenon for them. They want to go ahead with that, tolerate that. But it's this opposition from the banks that I was trying to go to.
Yes.
Yeah, they were the one who were opposing me. I would say your banking is wrong. In my mind, the way I see banking, bank is supposed to lend money to people.
Right.
But I say you do it in a very such a funny way.
Mm-hmm.
You lend people to money to the people who already have lots of money.
Yes, that's the thing. And who already have credit and who already have the way it means, right?
and you don't lend the money to people who don't have money. I said, this is absolutely wrong. You should be doing the other way. You should be lending money first to the people who don't have the money.
Right.
And then gradually move up to higher level of income and so on. I said, you have to turn around completely. They said, no, it's not possible. We cannot lend money to people because they are not creditworthy.
Yeah.
I said, that's also a very funny way of saying that. You are blaming them for their failure to take your money. I said, you are now putting the blame on the people, saying that they are not capable of taking money. They are not fit to take your money because they are not creditworthy. I said, the real issue, real description would be your institution, the banks, are not people worthy. You have not designed yourself to deal with them. And now you turn the blame to them. They should be blaming you instead of you blaming them. So I said, what we are trying to do is to create a bank which is people worthy, that we can deal with anybody. Doesn't matter whether he or she has money or no money, whether he has any collateral or no collateral. We deal with that. We can do that. We are not walking away from them because they don't fulfill your requirements and so on. Your requirements are strong. So this is how the struggle began, one after another. Every challenge comes. Ultimately, we created a bank challenging all the banking rules that exist. The bank go to the rich, we went to the poor. Bank go to men, we went to women. Bank go to the city center, we went to the remote village. Bank for collateral, we said no collateral. We don't need any collateral. And the bank wants lawyers around them. I said, no lawyers in Grameen Bank. We still don't have any lawyers in Grameen Bank. We give without collateral, without thing. And I said, the bank, people go to the bank in the conventional banks. I said, people should not go to the bank. Bank should go to the people. So we created a bank which goes to the people and do the business at their doorstep. So we reversed the entire system. This is how we got into it.
Which is incredible because of, when you look worldwide, how many people are unbanked, how many people just need that shot to be able to just do the basic things with their businesses, or just to get through life. Everyone was ignoring them, but that's actually where you have the majority of the people in the world. Right. Absolutely. So it was completely an untapped market, if you say it that way, right? For that now a lot of the financial sector is starting to understand and is really trying to connect with, but yet you came at it from a very different way because you were centered around the people versus someone saying, well, we need to fit this to them because we need to take advantage of this opportunity. So I think it's really incredible. And also you have the highest repayment rates. That's the thing that was incredible.
Yes, we are not looking at people for seeing it as an opportunity for their business. We are seeing the people because we can kind of create a business to help them out.
Yes.
So our attention was to how to help them out. When we grew, we became known as microcredit globally. As you said, it spread globally. Some people saw this as an opportunity to make money by lending money to people. I said, that's a wrong way of creating microcredit. Microcredit is a social business, meaning that we don't want to make money out of the poor people or anybody. It is a business which is devoted to solving problems rather than money for the owners of the business and so on. So we created microcredit as a social business, and we do it in Grameen Bank everywhere to solve the problem of the people. What is the problem of the people? They are always told, our economic theory tells them that, oh, everybody has to have a job in order for survival and so on. So we started saying, no, job is not the ultimate of human being. Job is a wrong direction. Job is a form of slavery. You have to take orders from somebody else to make a living for you. That's not the direction. That's not how human beings were created. I said humans were born as entrepreneurs. All our history, we worked on our own and we solved our problem. That's how the human beings are all about. I said the wrong idea that given by economics has to be abandoned, has to be redesigned. And we have to discover ourselves, our young people in schools and colleges, tell them that you are an entrepreneur, you're full of ideas, full of enthusiasm, and you start creating those ideas as a business proposition and do that. But if you want to become an entrepreneur, you need money. I keep saying credit is the oxygen of entrepreneurship. If you don't have that oxygen, your entrepreneurship cannot come out. But the moment you connect them with the entrepreneurship, with the oxygen, they become alive and active. That's what we did with millions and millions of women who never had any understanding of how to get the money, where to get the money. The moment we connected them with the money, they become alive, active, creative. They know, we know what to do with ourselves. You just give the money, we take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what they have been doing. So with the entrepreneurship is the key, the central focus of the whole thing that we wanted to do. And we wanted to make sure that economics are designed. I said, poverty is not created by the poor people.
No, it's not.
Absolutely not. Poverty is created by the system, the theories that we have created around ourselves. And
Yes.
that's how one of the wrong theories that you have to have a job.
Yes.
So you surrender all your creative capacity just for earning a little money for survival purposes. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Human beings are packed with unlimited creative capacity. And for the sake of living wages, you give up that creativity and take orders and behave like a robot because you have no mind or anything. You have surrendered your creative power. I said, no, human beings are not here to surrender their creative power.
No.
They are here to unleash all the creative power each one of us has. Whether you're born in the poorest family or the richest family, you have the same creative power as anybody else. So why didn't you unleash that creative capacity? That's the message that microcredit and everything that we're doing. We have to redesign the financial system. That's the key to the whole thing. And then in the business area, you have to create social businesses to solve the problem. Water, solve the problem of housing. You mentioned about the solar energy and the renewable energy. We created Shakti to bring renewable energy to the villages of Bangladesh, which never had any electricity at that time. So we said, forget about electricity for the main company. They will come by the electric wire for you. You create your own electricity. Here is the solar energy. We created the company. We started solar energy, and they pay back, and so it became a social business. And millions of people have electricity right away. They find it that it's very easy to create your own electricity and enjoy the benefit of the electricity.
Oh, no, I love it. Which takes me to this question, the next question, which is really about the 3-0 Club, right? So this is where young people can get involved, and I love it. You know, this platform that you created for young people to take innovative action to create a world of 3 zeros is based on your book, A World of 3 Zeros: The New Economics of Zero Poverty, Zero Unemployment, and Zero Net Carbon Emissions. Please tell us a little bit more about the 3-0 Club and how can young people get involved? Because I know it's worldwide.
Yeah, it is. It's a very exciting thing. I feel excited about it.
It's very exciting.
Simple ideas. Simple ideas. When I talk to the young people, they ask, what should we do? I said, look, first of all, you figure out what is this planet about, this world that we are talking about. I said, when you start thinking, is this a spaceship floating into space? Yes, it is. It's a spaceship floating into space. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Who are we on this planet then? I said, the economic theory has made us believe that we are passengers in this spaceship.
Right.
So we, as passengers, we try to enjoy ourselves, waiting for our drinks, waiting for our meals, enjoy our entertainment channels and so on, because we are passengers. And then we try to see if we can somehow upgrade ourselves from economy class to the business class, from business class to first class, and so on, because we are passengers. I said, no, you're not passengers. Have you ever thought who are the crew in this spaceship?
Right.
Pilot in this spaceship? I said, you are the crew. You are the pilots in this spaceship. So prepare yourself as a pilot, prepare yourself as a crew. If you are pilots, if you are crew, you have to design your flight plan. Without flight plan, you can't go anywhere. Do you have a flight plan for this planet?
Right.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take? Because you are the pilots. You have the flight plan. You have to take us to the best possible destination then. Then figure out what destination is. I said, one destination I can design for you and you can think of your design. But to get started, I said, make it a 3-0 world. A world which will have 3 zeros. Zero net carbon emission, zero wealth concentration, and zero unemployment. That's the direction we want to go. And that's the world we want to create. This world we're running away from because this world is destroying us. There are circumstances with the global warming and everything, all the theories that we created inside of this planet, we're destroying ourselves. I said, we don't want to destroy ourselves. We want to create a new destination, new civilization. That's where we want to live. We want to live like human beings. We are not money-making robots the way they have created us. Making robots.
That's
We all
true.
want to do money, 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 money. That's not what we're. We're human being. Let's rediscover ourselves as human being and behave like a
Yes.
human, of sharing and caring and making it a beautiful world for everybody, not just for myself, for everybody. Unless everybody is happy, I'm not happy. So I want to make everybody happy. So this is the direction we want to go. Then young people say, well, how do we do that? How do you make that 3-0 happen? So I came up with this idea. I said, why didn't you create a 3-0 club? It's very simple. All it takes 5 young people get together and make a 3-0 club so that you don't have to worry about a big organization, just a tiny little. You have 4 other friends, you create a 3-0 club. And what do we do in a 3-0 club? Very simple. You commit yourself that you have to reduce all those mega problems, the global warming, wealth concentration, and so on, bring it to 0 because you are looking at the 3-0. So you have to see how to reduce my contribution to global warming. As a person, I'm contributing to global warming. How? I use fossil fuel. I use cars, I use buses, I use motorbikes. So I'm using fossil fuel. So I want to reduce my contribution to the global warming. So I reduce. If I'm using fossil fuel 7 days a week, I do it 6 days a week, 1 day less. And gradually 5 days, gradually 4 days. So ultimately, 0 contribution of fossil fuel and so on. And then I use plastic. So I use plastic all the time. So 1 day a week, I will not use plastic. It's a plastic-free day. And second day, and gradually 2 days, 3 days, and week, and 0 plastic. And all other things, I destroy forests. I don't want to destroy forests. I want to create forests. I contribute to that. So I want to bring global warming to 0 myself. And similarly with wealth concentration, I want to not to contribute to the wealth concentration. I watch out whether I'm concentrating any wealth. I want to make sure I don't do that. And 0 contribution to unemployment. Once we do bring all these things to 0, then I become a 3-0 person.
Right.
Because I do not contribute to all these 3 problems that I've said. So I'm free from all those. So that next step would be all our 5 members become 3-0 persons. Then we can start moving to 3-0 families. All our families, all the 5 young people will have 3-0 families and 3-0 villages. We'll create 3-0 villages and 3-0 cities and 3-0 countries. Then the world will become a 3-0 world. Yeah. It starts with a person. So I'm emphasizing the young people that you look at the big problem, but you see you are contributing in it. And if you stop contributing it, I stop contributing it, my friend stops contributing it, it will be over. Right. It's one step. So we march on the street, that's fine, to draw attention of the policymakers. But remember, they cannot solve the problem until I become involved in solving the problem. Absolutely. I'm the key. Because and I'm the pilot. Absolutely, I'm the pilot. I'm the one that will take it to the 3-0 world. That's fantastic. That's I'm very happy that young people are responding it very warmly. We have more than 30 countries. Yeah. We have clubs, and I hope you're even in my country of origin, Uganda. Good, fantastic. Yeah, that would be great. Which is wonderful, and I appreciate it. And our time has come to an end because I'm very mindful of the fact that you have been very generous with your time. I just want you to leave us with one. You've given us a lot of wisdom. Just one thing that you want to leave the audience with. Just it could be a quote, it could just be something, a wish, or some kind of a call to action. One thing I can tell that nothing is impossible for human being. Yes. Believe in nothing is impossible. See? Yeah, it always seems impossible until it's done. That's Madiba. Yes. Yeah. Madiba. Nothing is impossible. Yeah. All we have to do is to make up our mind. Yes. If we make up our mind, it will be done. Yes. So this is the thing. This is the power we have. Are we exercising that power? We have the power. Let's use the power. Make it happen. That's wonderful. Thank you so very much. It's been such a precious opportunity for me to spend time with you. I really appreciate you sharing your time with us. I know our audience will very much appreciate it, and I wish you well. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.